Hello everybody, welcome back to the latest video. My name is Jay and this is Jay Vesting. Today I want to talk about debt relief orders. Should you get one? Are you in debt? Should you go bankrupt? Right. So to start with, tell you a little story. When I was in my early 20s, I actually took out a debt relief order and it only expired last year. So with that, from my experience, I would say no, don't get one. It's not worth it. If you have a small amount of debt, this is. I had about £5,000 debt, probably a bit over, probably more close to six. And basically, when I took out the debt relief order, I was under the impression I'm never going to pay this off, etc., etc. Now, there was one underlying factor with my debt. My debt had a big CCJ from the army because of health conditions and whatnot. I left the army, but because it wasn't done by an army doctor, yada yada yada, they ended up taking me to court for a bursary that I had been paid, but obviously I could not continue. And that was very, very high interest, and it felt like it was never ending. I could have paid off the other debts, no problem. I think that one would have lasted a long time though, because it was like every time I paid off, I was literally paying it off interest because it just never ever went down ever. But yeah, so if you have debt and you have a job, say a full-time job, or you're living at home with parents on a part-time job, and you have, say, £5,000 worth of debt, I do not recommend getting a debt relief order or becoming bankrupt to stop your creditors. I recommend getting a plan in place and basically working out each month. For example, if I'd had this plan in place, which I did at one stage, but I just didn't stick to it. I was very bad with money, really, really bad with money when I was young. I say young, it was only like 7 years ago, but yeah. If you get a plan in place to pay off, say, $500 a month if you're working part-time, or you could pay off more if you want. If you're living at home with your parents, right, then there is no reason you should be going bankrupt. You can find a way to pay it off. No, the basic premise is if you live at home with your parents, don't do it. Try and find a job. Try and get your debts paid down, because it will ruin it for 6 years. You'll ruin your credit for 6 years. My credit spiked when it ended because I'd been managing my credit very, very well in those, I think, last 3 years of the debt relief order. I had very, very high interest credit card, but I was managing it well. I was paying off every month, etc. Now, on the other hand, if you're not living at home, if you have your own place, if you're an older person and you have £5,000-6,000 worth of debt and you have bills to pay, etc., etc., you know, depending on where you live, all these different factors, it could be worth it, but I still don't recommend it, because in the time it would take you maybe 2 or 3 years to pay off that £5,000-6,000 worth of debt on a minimum wage full-time job living in your own place, you're still getting 6 years worth of bad credit. And just because you get it doesn't mean the debt is gone. If you have a change in circumstance within those, I think it's within the first year, how it works is, say if you get a pay rise, you then have to declare that to the people who gave the debt relief order. I can't remember the exact people that do it, but I did it through Stepchange, debt charity. You have to report it. If you don't report it, you get in a lot of trouble. And when you report it, they'll then reassess to see if you're still eligible for debt relief order, if you can start paying your debtors back. So it's you might get some temporary relief, but that's still going to be on your file. Like it's a big thing. You filed for it. So I do not recommend debt relief orders. I do not recommend going bankrupt unless you're heavily, and I'm talking heavily in debt. I'm talking over 2 to 3 years salary in debt, and it's never going to end. Like it's just not going to happen, or it's going to take you so long, or it's just not going to happen because you've got so much in interest to pay off, too much in interest to the point where everything you're paying off is just purely interest. It's just never going to end. But no, I was stupid. I was very stupid with mine. I was very stupid with money. I had like games. I remember when Twitch came out. Like I used to stream on Twitch, and I think it came out early in 2013, but I was streaming on Twitch in 2013, and yeah, it wasn't very. Yeah, it wasn't a great idea the way I spent my money, and then I drink as well. I don't drink anymore, but yeah, you just need to manage your money better, especially being young. If I could give any advice to anybody out there, it would be manage your money better when you're young, because I had a lot of savings at one point. I had a lot of money at one point. I wasn't doing anything special. I was just working and putting it in the bank. But I lived at home. It all ended up in bank. And then I blew through it in less than 6 months, drinking and going out and partying just really, really, really stupid things. Invest your money wisely. I will, if you want help, I will put a link in the description to the exact same Excel spreadsheet I use. That will basically, you can just edit the different fields. So I'll put like, you'll see. It'll be easy enough. So if you want to set a budget and thing, and just don't go overboard on things like takeaways, and enjoy something every once in a while. Everybody needs that bit of enjoyment once in a while, but don't enjoy 5 or 10 different things. That is a major problem these days. So, last of the advice: don't get a debt relief order if you're young. If it's not financially gonna do anything for you, it's gonna probably cause you more hurt over the 6 years than it will do good. If you're an older person, I recommend, and you have your own place, etc. Then, and it's just you're just paying off interest forever. Then yes, get it stopped, but just be very careful, because they are very, very. It's not like 20, 30 years ago when you went bankrupt and everything just disappeared. No, it doesn't happen anymore. So yeah, that's the conclusion of this video. It's a bit of a short one, but I thought I would get it out there because I don't want people making the same mistakes I did. And I fucked up a lot. I would be in a much better position if I didn't take that debt relief order. So yeah, thank you for watching. The ding, the ding dings, the subscribe, like, and ring the ding ding. Thank you for watching. Bye.